today's Nintendo Direct. Nintendo Switch,
Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch,
Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo eShop.
Nintendo Switch. Let's move on to more Nintendo Switch.
onto Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch, this Nintendo Switch. To Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch, Nintendo eShop. The Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch on Nintendo eShop.
Nintendo Switch, Nintendo eShop.
Let's take a look at some more Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Direct Nintendo Switch
Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch.
To Nintendo Switch, Nintendo eShop. To Nintendo Switch, on Nintendo Switch, to Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo eShop.
Nintendo Switch.
The Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch,
Nintendo Switch,
Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo website for Nintendo Switch. Let's see a few more. Nintendo Switch.
to Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo eShop, Nintendo Switch for Nintendo Switch. To Nintendo Switch Online,
on Nintendo eShop, Nintendo Switch Online Plus.
That's all for today's Nintendo Direct.